الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Last week we had discussed in regards to the sunnahs of Nabi Kareem Salallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we mentioned that a person will only follow and emulate Nabi Alaihi Salatu Wasallam when you have love for somebody. When you love somebody, automatically because of the love that is within a person, he emulates and he follows that particular person. The hadith Nabi Alaihi Salatu Wasallam mentioned, لا يؤمن أحدكم, that none of you can be a true believer حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين, until I am more beloved to him than his father. How much love a person has for his father, وَوَلَدِهِ, and his children. He must have more love for Nabi alayhi salam than his father, more love for Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam than his children. وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ, and mankind put together. Then only can a person be regarded as a true mu'min and a believer. One buzruk, one pious person, he thought that I have a lot of love for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So on one occasion he had a dream. And in the dream, he sees that there is a cart that is moving, horse and cart. So he is sitting on the horse and cart, and together with him, Nabi alayhi salam is there. And there are a few Sahaba that are also with them on this particular cart. So as they are traveling, the cart runs in danger. When it goes in danger, he's thinking now that what should I do to save the life of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Those Sahaba that were there, they jumped off their cart and they put themselves at the wheels of the cart, and they brought the cart to a standstill. And they saved the life of Nabi alayhi salam. It is only on this occasion, he said, that I understood that the love Sahaba had for Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, I can't even come close to that love for Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So much of love they had for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was leaving the world, it is mentioned he was in his hujra mubarak, in his room, and all the wives of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam were present. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha walks into the room. She was the beloved daughter of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. It comes in a narration that the walking of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was very similar to the walk of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How Nabi alayhi salam would walk, that's exactly the manner, the style of the walking of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. So she came and she sat next to Nabi alayhi salam. Either she sat on the right hand side or either she sat on the left hand side of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. After sitting there, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam whispered something in the ears of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala started crying. So she cried excessively. After a little while, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam whispered in her ears again something. The second time when he whispered, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala became very happy. She started smiling. So Hazrat Fatima, the daughter of Nabi alayhi salam, Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala. So Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, she was desirous. She wanted to know now that what did Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala. So Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala asked her. So Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala said that what is the secret of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam? I will not disclose the secret of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So later on, after some time, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was in his final illness and he passed away. When he passed away, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala now came back to Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala. And she said, because of the right that I have over you, I am your mother, I was married to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then tell me, what did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam tell you on that particular occasion? She said that now that Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam has left the world, he has passed away, I will explain it to you now. Then she explained to Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala that the first time that Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam whispered in my ear, Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam said that every year Jibreel alayhi salatu wasallam used to come to me. And Jibreel alayhi salam would either make one khatam or two khatams of the Quran Sharif with me. But this year Jibreel alayhi salam came to me and two khatams of the Quran Sharif was completed. This is an indication that I'm going to leave the world very, very soon. When Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala heard this, she had so much of love for Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam, she started crying. After a little while, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw that she's crying excessively. So he said, "Oh Fatima, aren't you happy that you're going to be the leader of the women of this world, of this ummah?" So she said, this is when I started smiling. It is mentioned that Nabi alayhi salam then told Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala also that fear Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala and exercise patience when I leave the world. But how much of love she had for Nabi alayhi salam. At that time when Nabi alayhi salam was leaving the world, again she started crying. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam told Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala, "Oh Fatima, recite inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." And when you go through some calamity, you go through some difficulty, and you make sabr, you recite Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un, you're going to be rewarded upon it. She said, Ya Rasulullah, even for losing you leaving the world, on losing you also we're going to get sawab Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Nabi alayhi salam said, yes, even for this calamity, you read Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un, you will get reward by Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Hazrat Muaz bin Jabal radiallahu ta'ala, he was sent as the governor of Yemen. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam takes him out of Medina Sharif. Hazrat Muaz radiallahu ta'ala is on the animal, and Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is walking next to Hazrat Muaz radiallahu ta'ala. So in this way, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam travels a little bit with him, and he is giving him nasihat in regards to Yemen. They reach a certain point, and now Nabi alayhi salam had concluded all the nasihat all the advice that he wanted to give him. So then he told Hazrat Muaz radiallahu ta'ala, O Muaz, when you come back from Yemen, that لَعَلَّكَ تَمُرُّ عَلَى مَسْجِدِي أَوْ قَبْرِي, you will pass by my masjid, you will pass by my qabr, but I won't be alive in this dunya any longer. Hazrat Muaz radiallahu ta'ala, Sahaba, this is the love that they had. Immediately he started crying, and uncontrollably he cried. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam turned away, he faced Madinatul Munawwar. And then he tells us, Mu'adh radiallahu ta'ala, Inna awla an-nasi bi al-muttaqun man kanu haythuma kanu, O kama qala alayhi salam, that the most closest to me will be that person. Inna awla an-nasi bi al-muttaqun will be those people that have taqwa in them. Man kanu, irrespective of who the person is, whatever his nationality may be, where he's coming from in the world, doesn't matter. Man kanu haythuma kanu, wherever they are, it doesn't really matter. But the man that has taqwa, he will be closest to me. And according to one narration, he told Muaz radiallahu anhu, Oh Muaz, don't cry, O Muaz. This crying this is from shaitan, so there's no need for you to cry. But this is the love they had for Nabi alayhi salam. They couldn't control themselves. They couldn't contain themselves. That here Nabi alayhi salam is saying, when you're going to come back, I'm not going to be in the world any longer. It is mentioned when the battle of Uhud had taken place, the rumor was spread at that time that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is made shaheed. One woman, she put on her parda, and she left her home, and she's going all the way to the battle of, to the plains of Uhud. So she traveled to the plains of Uhud. When she came there, she's informed that your father has been made shaheed. He's made shaheed. Then she's informed your son has been made shaheed. Your brother has been made shaheed. Your husband has been made shaheed. Only one question she's asking. Just tell me, how is Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam? It is mentioned she went to the point where she saw Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When she saw Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she said, Kullu musibatin ba'daka jalalu. Every calamity that I went through, my father was made shaheed, my son was made shaheed, my brother was made shaheed, my husband was made shaheed. All this has now become easy for me, although it's such a great calamity, 4 members of a family, just by seeing you, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the love that they had. When Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala on an occasion he traveled to Jabia. Hazrat Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, after the demise of Nabi alayhi salam, he couldn't remain any longer in Madinatul Munawwar. So he moved away from Medina Sharif and he went to Jabia. Jabia is a place in Sham. So he went away to Jabia. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala once undertook a journey to Sham. So when he went to Sham, the people of Sham came to meet Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. So they told Umar radiallahu ta'ala that, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, one request we got from you. So he asked, what is the request? He said, please ask that Bilal radiallahu ta'ala to call out the adhan. That after he left Medina Sharif and he moved over to Sham, he never called out the adhan. Ask him to please call out the adhan. It is mentioned Umar radiallahu ta'ala instructed him, requested him that call out the adhan. When he called out the adhan, his slave Aslam, that was Umar radiallahu ta'ala, his slave, he said, I never saw people crying like how they cried on this particular day. Why? Their minds immediately went back to the zamana of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Hazrat Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, he couldn't live in Medina Sharif after the demise of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So much of love. And he didn't only stay in Jabia, but thereafter he went to a place called Zaria, and he stayed in Zaria. So it is mentioned when he was staying in Zaria, this is also in Sham. So he saw a dream, and in the dream that he saw, he sees Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam tells him, Oh Bilal, so long, our separation, you're not coming to visit me also in Medina Sharif? Next morning, Hazrat Bilal radiallahu anhu woke up. When he woke up, he immediately got ready to go to Madinatul Munawwar. He came to Medina Sharif, he came to the Roza Mubarak. He stood by the Roza Mubarak, and on one side, he is full of sorrow and grief that I am separated from Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And on the other side, he is also happy that I'm here, right at the Roza Mubarak, before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whilst he is in that condition, grief on one side, some happiness on the other side, Hazrat Hassan and Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, they came running. So the Bilal radiallahu ta'ala picked them up and he started kissing them. How much love Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had for them. So he also picked them up. He started embracing them, kissing them. So thereafter they told us, Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, oh Bilal, that please call out the adhan in Medina Sharif. After so long he came back to Medina Sharif. They said call out the adhan. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala got onto a raised platform and from there he called out the adhan. It is mentioned the moment the adhan commenced, when the sound of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala echoed in Madinatul Munawwara, the women came out of their homes, the children came out of their homes, everybody came out crying because of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It reminded them of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So really these Sahaba, they taught us what is love for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They couldn't tolerate being separated from Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam as well. As Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he used to come to the mimbar of Nabi alayhi salam where Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam would sit. He would place his hand at the seat of Nabi alayhi salam. He would place it there and then he would place it on his face. Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala, on one occasion, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did cupping. After he did the cupping, the blood was collected in a plate. So he told Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala that, oh Abdullah bin Zubair, take this and go and dispose of this blood. So Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala went to dispose of it. When he went out, Hazrat Salman radiallahu ta'ala was coming. So Hazrat Salman radiallahu ta'ala seen Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala that he's got one plate and he's drinking something. So he comes to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So after a little while, Abdullah bin Zubair also returns to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala that, tell me Abdullah bin Zubair, that did you complete the work that I gave you? So he said, Ya Rasulullah, the work is done. So Hazrat Salman radiallahu ta'ala asked, Ya Rasulullah, what work did you give him? So he said that I told him that the cupping blood that I gathered in the plate must go and dispose of the blood. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, I take a qasam in the name of Allah. Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala, he drank the blood. So Nabi alayhi salam asked him, Abdullah bin Zubair, did you drink the blood? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I drank the blood. So he said, why did you drink the blood? He said, I wanted the blood of Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in my body as well. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, for drinking my blood, then two things will happen. He says, one is you're going to cause harm to a nation. And secondly, a nation, they will cause harm to you as well. Referring to the difference that came about between the king Abdul Malik and Marwan. So at that time, they caused harm to Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala, and Abdullah bin Zubair radiallahu ta'ala caused harm to them. He was the governor of Makkah, and finally in that time, Hajjaj bin Yusuf, in his time, he was made shaheed also in Makkah al-Mukarramah. So he said this is the first thing. And the second thing he said, that the fire of Jahannam will never touch you. My blood is in your body. The fire of Jahannam will never touch you. Except the promise of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, where every person will have to pass over the bridge of Sirat. And the bridge of Sirat, 1,500 years journey. And sharper than a blade, thinner than a strand of hair. And under the bridge is the fire of Jahannam. Except that promise of Allah that you will have to cross over Sirat and then get into Jannah. So other than that, the fire of Jahannam will never touch you. So this is the love that they had for Nabi alayhi salam. When on the occasion of Uhud, the Mubarak face of Nabi alayhi salam was wounded, full of blood. One Sahabi came, he started licking that blood. So somebody said, the blood is haram, you can't lick blood. So he said, this is not normal blood. This is the blood of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you lick this blood of my face, the fire of Jahannam will never touch you. Hazrat Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu ta'ala, whenever Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu ta'ala, he went to war, Khalid bin Walid radiallahu ta'ala was always victorious in war. It is mentioned he never lost any battle. How did he lose it? He had made a hat, a topi like. And in the front of the topi, when he gathered some of the hair of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, and he put it in the front of it. And whenever he went in battle, he wore this particular topi, and then he went out in the path of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And he always was victorious. So all this was through the barakat of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So Allah Ta'ala give us that love, that connection with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That connection of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, as long as it is there, as long as we have that love, a person will be treading the correct path. And the moment we move away from Sunnah, the life of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, there's only destruction upon destruction. Last week when we were in Johannesburg, there was one youngster that was from Lenasia. They say this youngster, he was one of the most intelligent students in school. When he came to madrasa, he was one of the most intelligent students in madrasa. The ustads loved him in madrasa. The teachers in school, they loved this young boy. Maybe about 18, 19 years old, whatever it must have been. This young boy, he got involved in this little bit of interfaith, this interfaith dialogue, interfaith discussion. He got involved in this. And he passed away. He passed away now about a week or two ago, he passed away. Where did his janaza go from? Muslim boy. Where did his janaza go from? He lost his iman, his janaza went from the church. And not only did his janaza go from the church, they took his body and they cremated the body. Today, that is the condition. The moment a person moves away a little bit from sunnah, from the teachings of deen, our iman is in danger. Allah Ta'ala protect us all, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. فاذكروني أذكركم أنا جليس من ذكرني दिल मेरा हो जाए एक मैदान हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो हो और मेरे तन में बजाए आग गिल दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल गैर से बिल्कुल ही उठ जाए नजर तू ही तो आए नजर देखो जीरा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह 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 मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम इलाही दिल में मेरे गैर का असर न रहे सिवाय तेरे किसी पर मेरी नजर न रहे तो कर दे खबर सारी खबरों से मुझको इलाही रहूं खबरदार तेरा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह 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 मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम कोई मुझसे पूछे मैं क्या मांगता हूँ मैं अपने खुदा से खुदा मांगता हूँ वो हो जाए मेरा मैं हो जाऊँ उसका यही रात दिन में दुआ मांगता हूँ अदा कर दे वो मुझको अपनी मोहब्बत में उसके सिवा कुछ और नहीं मांगता हूँ नाराज़गी जिसकी दोज़ख से बढ़कर उसी ज़ात की मस्जिदा मांगता हो असल मुझे दुनिया की ख्वाहिश नहीं मैं बख्शिश बरोज़े जज़ा मांगता हो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह 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 ला इलाहा اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد كلما ذكره الذاكرون وكلما غفل عن ذكره الغافلون. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد أبد الآبدين، وصل على سيدنا مولانا محمد دهر الداهرين. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد في الليل إذا يغشى، وصل على سيدنا مولانا محمد في النهار إذا تجلى، وصل على سيدنا مولانا محمد في الآخرة والأولى. اللهم اجعل نبينا لنا فرطا وحوضه لنا موردا. اللهم احشرنا في زمرته واستعملنا بسنته وتوفنا في ملته واجعلنا في حزبه. اللهم توفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين غير خزايا ولا مفتونين. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. جزا الله عنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم بما هو أهله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين والحمد